Good evening, everyone. Alcvin once again at Bamboo Inn. So today I'm going to share with you the Holy of Holies, my process of constructing Omu, Jinashi, Hochiku. Yes, the foundation of my work. So these flutes are different than the standard shakuhachi, and I'll give you a little background again, those who don't know about shakuhachi. So the shakuhachi is basically the modern shakuhachi, that is a highly refined tuned instrument that takes months to sometimes years to create, because of the detailed work with the tuning and the bore and the polishing. And it's a smaller bore, more narrow bore, but it's bright and very extremely musically refined instrument for that, particularly for creating music. So there is another side of the shakuhachi world, which is the shadow world, which we call jinashi shakuhachi, which is a less refined. Actually, it's faster to make, but because there's not as much detailed work that goes into the construction of it, and it is harder to play. But for me, it's very interesting, and it's the type of flute that I work with the most, particularly because of the interesting tone color and the feeling of playing the longer flutes. So these flutes are bigger, bore-wise and lengthwise than the standard shakuhachi, and so the sound that is created on these is much more textural, more airy, more breathy, I would say more organic. And the fact that we're using these raw roots is just, and just working with them is just super awesome. So I love this style of flute playing, and in Japan you will see the two worlds being represented by various players, but most of the world of the shakuhachi is dominated by the ji-ari shakuhachi, probably because it's easier to play and people really enjoy the sound of that. So I love both. I'm not saying that one is better than the other. It's just I really enjoy doing jinashi shakuhachi work, and also because the process of harvesting the bamboo is integral to a more holistic experience of the shakuhachi. Sorry, I'm going on too much, rambling on. But before I go on, I want to share with you my this one I just made recently. It's a number 13 yokobue, made from madake. We call makobue, madake, Japanese bamboo, an old piece that was already aged and cured in the forest on my neighbor's property. So I just want to start out with, because I want to give you the sound of this one before we go on. So here we go. Oh, first some clearing space. Oh yeah. Spirits, ancestors. There we go. love it. So happy, so blessed. All right, on with the demonstration. Okay, first step. I have a 2.4. I call this O mu because of the O as an honorific prefix and mu as in emptiness. So, O mu. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. So, this is going to be a 2.4 length, and O mu are wide bore as opposed to the normal or the standard bore or the thinner shakuhachi. So we measure from the end, and I'm going to be, if we do this longer size, it'll be 3.1, but I don't need a 3.1. I would like a 2.4. So we're going to measure to this node here. So the first step is to determine your shomen, or your front of your bamboo. And how to determine the shomen is, you look down the center and you see that the bamboo is curving up a little bit. You know this is the front of the bamboo. Now, luckily this bamboo is not bent. It's pretty straight. So you want to determine the center line of this bamboo. So you use your marker and you mark with your eye the center. Okay, so that is my center. Next step is to cut the end or the top of the utaguchi. So when I make my flutes, I make a matching utaguchi protector or mouthpiece cap. So I save about maybe an inch or and a half of bamboo above the utaguchi, and then I use that as the top of the cap. So first we cut that end, the center line of this bamboo. So you use your marker and you mark with your eye the center. Okay, so that is my center. Next step is to cut the end or the top of the utaguchi. So when I make my flutes, I make a matching utaguchi protector or mouthpiece cap. So I save about maybe an inch or and a half of bamboo above the utaguchi, and then I use that as the top of the cap. So first we cut that end. When you cut your bamboo, I like to use this old celluloid strip that they used to use for old film for camera or negative. So it makes a great tool for making a perfect cut circle. So just follow that. The first cut of the utaguchi protector. And I always use a hacksaw, because this is the kind of saw that does not dull your blade. Because of the high silica content in bamboo, it dulls standard blades very quickly. So the hacksaw is perfect because it's made to cut metal and all that different materials. So basically you follow your cut line, and there's you know, when you deal with cutting bamboo, you have to practice a lot. And so this technique of pulling with your right and then pushing with your left, this kind of sawing is very effective for shakuhachi. So start with long stroke to make the first cut line, following the line until you connect with the original first cut. And then you start doing short strokes. And make sure that your blade is nice and it's straight, but you do angle like that. Because the blade tends to go bend to the right or left, so you have to balance out by going angling and when you do your cut. So a lot of beginner would do is also they would tape the surrounding bamboo, because it tends to, as a beginner, you would slip the blade and you would scratch the bamboo. But I don't have that right now because I'm pretty experienced. I can control my bamboo, my saw well. But as a beginner, I recommend you covering your bamboo with some painter's tape so that you protect the, you don't scratch your bamboo surface. Okay, so these particular benches are really good for working with bamboo, and there's many various type of boxes that you use. I have different boxes styles that I got from different makers, but I like this one particularly. It's a nice design and it's easy to portable and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, so we got our top. So now we cut at the utaguchi or mouth hole level. So shakuhachi bamboo is such that it's a madake philostachus. So we have two lips. So one at the bottom and then a second one that's more, one is really sharp and one is more kind of more round. So at the top of the utaguchi, we cut, the first cut is at the top lip. That's where we cut, start out with our utaguchi. So I'm going to be doing that right now. So when we deal with more finer cutting, we use our thumb to guide to protect the blade from slipping to the left. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to start with a short stroke. I'm following that top lip. I'm using my thumb to guide the blade, and protect from slipping. Getting dark, so I might continue this tomorrow, but yeah, I will continue it. So this is basically the end of part one, and we're going to be doing this in installments so you guys can see my process. utaguchi cap protector. So that's it for today, everybody. So that's the first installment. So I just want to give you a close-up. So there you go. There's the fushi still intact, and we want to save that fushi because that's very good for our mouth feeling, to keep that 2.4. It's going to be a nice, I already can tell it's going to be a very nice flute. We'll see. Actually, I can't tell you. I will determine that once we start blowing, and yes, but I love the shape already, and it's going to be we'll see how it sounds. That's a mystery. So here's the utaguchi cap. So those always go, I finish that at the end. But that's it for today, everybody. So continue following me on the adventure of creating an omu jinashi shakuhachi.